Welcome to Rockstar Productions, where in this episode, we are at the Missouri GameCon in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rockstar Productions. Thanks for checking us out. If this is your first time here on the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time we do release new content, you are kept up to date. We're here in St. Charles, Missouri for the 2018 Missouri GameCon. How did we get here? What did we see? Let's check it out. The drive from Champaign, Illinois down to St. Louis and St. Charles is an easy one, only about 3 or 3.5 hours, and we get to see some really cool sights, such as the iconic St. Louis Arch. Once we arrived on site at the college campus, we were really excited to see what was in store for us, especially since this was our first GamesCon ever. You ready for this? So we're overlooking the top of the Missouri GameCon here, and you can see just how many different vendors there are here on site at the floor, and they're selling a bunch of different stuff. I mean, we've got, let's see where we at. We got posters right there. We've got obviously tons of different games and systems. If we look around, where are they? So we've got Adam from 1UP is right about there. We got the Metal Jesus Rocks crew right about there. We're going to go talk to them as well. And before the day is over, I'm actually going to do a panel with John Riggs. Upon entering the hall, and the first thing we see is the 3 different event t-shirts. Before the end of the day, they would all be gone, but we thankfully were able to pick one up.
You think we should call it a prototype? You guys want a prototype Donkey Kong Country?
It is a limited edition.
Limited edition, yeah, that's the one. Huh?
That is a limited edition Donkey Kong. It's all about the marketing, boys. Ooh, what do you guys want for the TurboGrafx?
We got 140, 150, 150 on that.
Okay. You really get an opportunity to see some unique and one-off type systems and accessories here. For example, this vendor had a number of different hand-painted N64s, Super NESs, NESs, and PlayStation 2s, featuring characters such as Mario, Mortal Kombat, Kingdom Hearts, and Star Wars. Everything you see here is hand-painted as well. See, I want to know what he wants for the Jaguar.
The Atari?
Uh-huh. I want a Jaguar. I remember Funhouse.
Huh?
I said, I remember the Funhouse game. It was so terrible. Look who I found early in the morning.
Hey, how's it going?
It's Radical Reggie.
How are you doing?
How you doing, my brother?
Good, nice to meet you. What was your name?
Gary from Rockstar Productions.
Gary, oh man, cool, dude. You find anything cool yet?
We've just been poking around, so I found you, which is pretty cool.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I just made my first purchase here. So.
What'd you buy?
I bought,
PS4 stuff?
No, this stuff was for trade, but this is one of the games that got damaged in my popsicle incident. So I get to replace that finally, which I'm very happy about. This is awesome.
Very cool.
Happy right now.
Oh, this is kind of neat. So they have a console museum set up. Oh, that's the thing that Riff and Ricky just got there from the Pixel Game Squad. Put your cartridge in there and put a 3.5-inch floppy there, and it'll back up your system for you. The Videogame Museum that they set up was really cool, and you got to see a bunch of different consoles that you normally may not have gotten to see. The JVC XI, the Mountain Dew edition of the Xbox, even some people may have never seen a Virtual Boy. So, very similar to the Sharp Famicom Twin that I have, but I've got the Turbo edition. That has the turbo buttons on the controllers themselves. Oh, wow. So this is pretty cool. This is one of Nintendo's very first consoles here. This is the Colored TV Game 15. So I got a question for you boys.
Sure.
So I've done a video on my channel showing how to region mod a GameCube and throw the Switch in it. Would you ever do that to a Panasonic Cube?
No. From what I understand of it, the engineering inside is completely different because it's mostly Panasonic parts, not Nintendo. The wiring is different. They actually made a region unlocked version that was at retail stores.
Okay.
This is unfortunately just a region 2. From what I understand of it, from people I've talked to, there is about a 50% failure rate in attempts to mod this, unless you absolutely know 100% what you're doing. And unfortunately, as rare as it is to have an actual working unit, I'm not willing to take that chance. It will remain a region 2.
Well, especially since you can get a GameCube for $30-40
Exactly.
and not destroy history.
Exactly. But no, for the price I paid for it, the fact that it works, it will never be attempted to mod.
Moving along to the rest of the video game museum that they had here, they had a lot of other cool games set up here. Kind of interesting to see the plug-and-play system here. Kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, but really cool. That red Neo Geo is awesome. The TurboGrafx 16 is cool. You had the Atari Lynx, you had the Turbo handheld, the Sega Nomad, you even had some Game & Watches inside the case. One of the first booths we really stopped off at and spent some time with was with Sean the cutting board guy, and he laser etches each and every one of these cutting boards with some really cool figures from the schematics and patent documents from different video game systems, popular characters, X-Wing fighters, and even Chrono Trigger. It's all here. He can really do it all. What do you want for the WrestleMania? And the Rock Ignite Adventures?
WrestleMania, Famicom, $5.
I will take that and Rocket Knight.
Okay.
I will take them.
All right.
What else we got?
Buy all the things.
Yeah, no, we just got here. No, that's a repro, but how much? It's a trash. Or no, it's not a trash 80. It's a 2500. Having just picked up a Sega Saturn myself, I was definitely looking for different games. I also haven't grown my 32X collection a whole lot, so I wanted to check and see what they had here. In addition, there were a lot of different talented artists here, and Earthworm Jim definitely caught my attention. One of my holy grail games, RC Pro-Am 2 for the NES. At $70, it's about the least expensive that I've ever seen it. But I'm wondering if I can do better. I'm going to check some other booths and see what I can find. Felix the Cat and Rockin' Cats, two popular cat games for collectors of the NES. We also had a lot of different booths that had Super Famicom stuff too. We even found games such as Super Bonk for the Super Famicom.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
How much for the lunch boxes?
I'm gonna do 25 each.
Yeah, I don't do it.
I'm also looking for friends, so I will be sending texts. Look very carefully in the wild. There's a John Riggs, a Metal Jesus, and a Kinsey. Oh, that kills me. That kills me. That kid needs to be spanked. So I'm kicking myself now because for $40 I could have had a box version. Damn it. Look at all the Atari stuff. Oh, I'm a big proponent of the one-up cards.
You use them all the time.
John, here, I've got to show these too for people who have not seen them.
That's right.
Those are awesome.
Thank you.
One of the coolest pieces I saw at the show was the Super Famicom storage case. Comes with wheels and everything. I just couldn't justify the $160 they were asking for it. There were a lot of different vendors that had these Earthbound box sets on hand too, along with other rare games such as Stadium Events, Musha, and more. This is for my boy Aaron, aka Riff, over at the Pixel Game Squad. A little bit of Cuphead on hand.
White LED for the power.
So did this start out its life as one of the Play Out Loud series?
No.
Okay.
No, one. All right, got it. Thank you. Thanks, man. Enjoy.
Legit or repros?
They're all legit. Those are extras, but not as nice. So if you want to compromise quality, it compromises price too.
Right.
But I try to put the nicest ones out.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
It's the first one found in the wild, and this is the brochure and hat from that day.
These guys had some other really cool box games here too. Here you can see a boxed version of DuckTales 2, Contra, and a whole lot more. Upstairs there were competitive gaming areas too, where players could play against each other in a number of different games, including card games. So one of the cool things about being on a college campus is you get like common areas like this. And they've got some arcade cabinets set up that people can actually stand up and play. Let's see what they have. That is the one cabinet I will own one day. That is the Nintendo Play Choice 10. They have Bad Dude set up. And this just makes sense with the creator of Rampage. Actually here, they have a Rampage cabinet set up. And then the classic R-Type. And obviously we have a group of people that are all gamed out. So Mr. Retro Limited, tell me about, are you guys kind of like a limited run games, or what's the story?
I mean, similar concept. These are our first 2 releases, and they are actually limited. We only did 100 of the first one and 50 of the second. The concept was to do games that were not released in the States and provide a complete version.
Okay.
So it comes with a complete color manual, things along those lines. We're moving out of that and away from reproductions into new NES development.
Okay.
Hoping to have the demo of our first game by the Midwest Gaming Classic next year.
Okay. Any idea or can you talk about it at all?
Yeah, we're not quite releasing that just yet. It's rather ambitious, so we don't really want to put anything forth until
Understandable.
It's a little bit more solid.
They have a Master System. The cassette cases are interesting.
Yeah, it just looks nicer to be able to kind of see it on the shelf like that instead of...
That's really cool. We've got the fellas here from the Video Game Dads podcast. They're rocking it out. $100 for a box Super NES 1, not a bad deal. 2 Wavebird controllers, $70. Kind of disappointed, no Doki Doki Panic, no Famicom Disk System. Mighty Final Fight for $200. RC Param 2 for $95. Die Hard, Gun Knack, great game, Snow Brothers. Whoa. That is the Star Fox 2 collection set for the competition cartridge. $1,300. Holy cow. Cool thing here. So we've got We Play Games. From my neck of the woods, they're up in Rantoul, Illinois, which is about 20-25 minutes away from me. These are super cool. They're glossy printed and oh no! No, I think it's gone. The one I was gonna buy is gone. They had a Super Mario World that was the Japanese printing from the Super Famicom box. I think it's gone. Battling out between Mario Kart and Smash. Now, one of the things too at the event is they've had a number of different things for people to come and do. VIP ticket holders actually got in at 9:30. The event itself opened at 10:30. Radical Reggie had a panel at 10:45. Adam Korlik had one at 10:50, and you can see the other panels that are going on. Now, that one there, 4:45, John Riggs. I'm actually going to be a part of that one, so pretty excited about that. So everyone, this is it. First time I'm doing a panel at a game convention, and I get to do it with John Riggs, which is pretty freaking cool. We're going to be talking, well, he's going to be talking, I'm going to be assisting, talking about how to make repro games, and then how to do a live action or a open cart surgery. So we've got everything all set up, ready to go. I'm not going to lie, a little bit nervous, so we'll see how it goes. I can see the garbage on the pins.
But you can, there's, these are like the crumble, the little lump. Alright, go for it. My eyes are crossed.
than mine, but that's fine. No, I appreciate that, buddy. Any help I can get is always
So we got a lot of cool stuff at the show and a few things I wanted to show you that we did pick up and one tool that we started using. This is actually the camera gimbal that I used during the filming of all the footage that you saw there. This is actually available from Banggood.com, and it is the J-Crobot J5 is what it's called. I'll have a link down below in a pinned post. Really dug it, worked really well. Look for a full-blown review coming on this bad boy really soon. Now Friday night, we went out, Ginger and I went out to dinner, we went to one of the local malls, and we went into two stores because John Riggs had gone into them last year, and I was kind of curious to check them out. The first one was a store called V-Stock, and they had a lot of really cool stuff there, and think of Barnes & Noble meets a video game store, because it had games, comics, music, a lot of cool stuff there. And I just couldn't pass this by. This is the NES Satellite. I got this for $20, and basically what this does is you plug this into your NES, and you can plug your controllers into here. You can not only do 4 players simultaneous, but you can do so wirelessly. Rarely do I have more than just myself that's playing, but it's one of those cool things for the NES I wanted to pick up. And then we went to another store called Slackers, where they had this enamel pin set from Nintendo as well, where you had the Invincibility Star, Toad, Yoshi, and Peach. Now, that mall and this location, they're getting ready to close, so it was kind of neat that I was able to check those out while we were there. Now, as you can see, yes, I did pick up a t-shirt. Ginger did as well. Really cool. Just an easy way to help support the event, too. Now, when we went to the event, there's a few things that I was looking for myself. I was looking for a Master System. I was looking for Darkwing Duck for the NES. I have my PAL version, but I want an NTSC US version. I was looking for Double Dragon for the Master System. I was looking for Earthworm Jim 64, Earthworm Jim on the Saturn, and Earthworm Jim on the Sega CD. In addition, I was also looking for a Sega Saturn Action Replay. I've just recently picked up a Saturn. I don't really have much for it yet. And then Saturn controllers too. There were things that I didn't find, there were things that I did, so let's get started. One of the first things that I found, you guys saw it at the first booth that we went to, I picked up a copy of Hyperstone Heist for the Genesis. Yes, it's a repro, but for the money, I'm okay with it. I actually do like the case that it's in, too. I did also pick up the Super Famicom version of Super WrestleMania. I used to rent this game all the time when I was in high school, and yeah, just a super fun game, and for the price, a good deal. Now, at the same booth that I picked those guys up, you saw that I picked up a copy of Rocket Knight Adventures, the loose cartridge. Well, and then later on, we went to another booth, and we found a box version of Rocket Knight Adventures, and this is complete in box, $40. I managed to pick this up. Great game. It's an amazing shape, but I had this extra copy, so I'm like, what am I going to do with it? I'll find out in just a moment. Now, in addition, I did pick up one of our local stores. You saw me focus on him in the video itself from the floor. We Play Games. I stopped and talked to Victor, and Victor actually had a copy of Earthworm Jim 64. I know it's terrible. I absolutely know it's terrible. But it's Earthworm Jim, so I have to have it. Speaking of Earthworm Jim, Ginger surprised me with a few things here as well. So we have the Earthworm Jim print here. Also have a Toe Jam and Earl print, and the one thing I didn't realize until we actually went to get frames for these, she actually picked up a third one as well, and I've got that one as well with Yoshi and Luigi and all the characters from Super Mario Bros. 3, so very cool, and the artist did autograph each and every one of them, so absolutely love these. These are awesome. And I picked up 2 systems while I was there, one I was looking for, one I wasn't. You guys know that I love my Spice Orange Japanese GameCube. Well, I now did pick up that Spice Orange Game Boy that you guys saw me feature in the video too. And yes, this thing is ridiculously bright. It looks great, sounds great. And actually I got this for only $40, so I was able to get them down about $10 on that. Works awesome. Actually, I played that quite a bit while I was chilling out in the hotel afterwards. Finally, we have the other system that I bought. And I did finally get my hands on a Sega Master System. It was in great shape. I had seen it. Ooh, there's something else yet here. There's something. There's 2 more games that I have to show you. So this is in great shape. The cool thing is the plastic is still over the parts of the console. So like that satisfying feeling when you peel that off, I can still get that. The controller is a little mushy. I definitely need to pick up new controllers for it. But I have tested out with my HD Retrovision cables going through my OSSC. Works awesome. And since I have a Master System now, well, I'm going to need some games. And I did pick up Pro Wrestling. And this is actually something that I bought before. I actually sent a copy out to Sean Long about a year ago, RGT85. So I now have a copy for myself. Picked up Hang On Safari Hunt because, yes, this does have games built into it. I didn't know what games were in it. It actually has Hang On and Safari Hunt in there, so I actually have the physical cartridge as well. Ghostbusters, which I thought was like the Japanese Famicom version. It's not. It's exactly the same as the NES version, and it's terrible, but I have it. So like I said, I had that extra copy of Rocket Knight Adventures. Well, what I ended up doing is I went to Live Action Games here in Champaign, talked to Adrian. It's like, dude, I've got this copy. You don't have any on the shelf. What can you do for me? He's like, well, what do you want for it? I said, well, you got a box copy of Afterburner sitting on the shelf. How about a trade? So that's what we did. So I've got a box version of Afterburner that I'm classifying as coming from the Missouri Game Show because it was directly tied to it. And this last item, I went back and forth and walked the hall and back and forth. I wound up picking up that copy of RC Pro-Am 2. I did see a couple others there. This was the cheapest by far. The label's not in perfect shape, but it's in good enough shape for me because I'm buying to play, not just collect. So, and the fact that it had a Nintendo dust sleeve, I like that. I'll be on the lookout for a box and a manual now moving forward. If you know anyone who has those, let me know. Definitely interested. So RC Pro-Am 2, got this for 60 bucks. So very happy with that. Now, that's everything that I got. Now, as you saw, Ginger came with me. She's not a gamer. She appreciates and she supports, but she's not a gamer. And as we were walking around, she's like, is there something here that like I might be into? And there was. She actually got a copy of SimCity that I picked up for her. She's already played it, enjoys it, trying to get the hang of it, but it's one of those where it's more laid back, more casual. It's not a fast-paced action platformer, and she can kind of ease herself into it. So we may actually do some live streams with her and SimCity. So I think we got a pretty decent haul here. You figure 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 things that we came out with. A few things I was disappointed at. The prices for Darkwing Duck were ridiculous. Like over 60 bucks for a loose cartridge. I've seen them $30 to $40 on eBay. So I stood pat on that. I did see one of the Saturn 3D controllers with the analog stick. They wanted 60 bucks for that. There were a ton of TurboGrafx 16s out there too. Could have had one for $85. It was in really rough shape. I decided to pass on that. So that pretty much does it for us here at the Missouri GameCon. I want to thank you all for watching, and I got to thank a bunch of people, first of all, for making this happen. First of all, my lovely girlfriend Ginger, she gave up her time this weekend to come down, help me out, spend time with me. Definitely love you and appreciate you for that. John Riggs made it so that I was able to actually get in as one of the VIPs and help him out on one of the panels. That was a ton of fun. And then just Charles and everyone with the Missouri GameCon. I'm a cheat here because I've got it on the back of the badge. But Charles Shaw, Chad Hager, Jake Friedel, Jason Heft, and Pat Walsh, you guys have done an amazing job. Thank you so much. I can't wait to come back next year. Now, oops, sorry about that. If you do have any comments or questions about anything that we showed you here today, or anything gaming related, as always, feel free to leave it down in the comments section. You can also email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com, or you can also hit me up on Twitter at RockSolidStudios. We're always keeping the conversation going over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. If you want, you can also go ahead. Don't forget to enter to win our NES Classic Edition contest. go ahead and head to the link on screen in the upper right-hand corner right now, upper left-hand corner right now, your upper left-hand corner, where you can enter to win a Nintendo NES Classic Edition as we drive to 5,000 subscribers. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button too. That does help out the channel. And then, like I say, once we hit 5,000 subscribers, or at the end of August 2018, we will be drawing the winner for that NES Classic Edition. Finally, again, just got to thank everyone. We had some cool pickups. We're going to show you, or I did show you earlier on what we did pick up here, and just some great times here. I do want to thank you all for watching. If you have a chance to come to the Missouri GameCon next year, I definitely recommend it. My name is Gary. This has been Rocksaw Productions. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.